Well, quite simply, it just doesn't get much bigger than this in a championship run-in. We return to start our week with 5 games to go in our first season, and we begin it with a game away at our rivals Watford. A huge game at both ends of the table, as despite slipping out of the top six, we've still got a very good chance of sneaking into the playoffs. Whereas for Adi Boothroyd's side at the bottom, they could be getting one step closer to relegation. An opportunity for us that the Luton fans just won't want us to turn down. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 8 of this FM06 Let's Retro save from Luton Town in the EFL Championship. I'm loving the save so far, thank you so much for your support with it, but today it ramps up a notch in terms of the pressure. As you can see, we've dropped to 10th place, the position Luton finished in real life in this season. However, there are 3 points, or 4 points in fact, separating 12th place Wolves and the playoff places. So if we can get a win today, we could be in very good nick. Southampton, another side in the mix, we'll face a bit later as well. And as you've seen from the run-in, we've got Wolves, we've got Preston. It's all of the sides in and around us. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. But there is good news as we head into this one. Firstly, we've got a little bit of a transfer update because due to a couple of injuries, we needed to fill some other voids in the squad. If we go through and have a look at the loans in, we have added Andy Welsh on loan from Sunderland. Joe Keenan's has expired. Paul Underwood has picked up yet another injury. And as a result, Andy Welsh is the man in for 2 months. £1 a week to contribute to the wages. Didn't come off the bench last time out, but he's there and available if we need him. Very solid pro. Other players have returned from loan, but they're not going to be near the squad yet. So let's have a look at the fixtures and the results. Because today, after a little run without him, we have got Steve Howard back. But some of the others are stepping up to the plate. 3 games since you were last with me. No victories, but only 1 defeat as well. We were 2-1 down at Ipswich Town. Dean Morgan got the goal, but unfortunately wasn't enough as we fell to a very late defeat in that one. And then after it, back-to-back 2-2 draws. We got the first one thanks to a goal from Berkovic and Feeney. And then in the second one against Stoke last time out, a Kevin Nichols free kick and penalty put us 2 up. But we weren't able to hold on. Again, Marlon Beresford in goal for that game. Lee Grant picked up another knock. And on the left-hand side, Chris Brunt is really struggling, which is why we've brought Welsh in due to the Underwood injury. That and also because Shawumi's been playing up front, largely because Steve Howard has been unavailable. He's back today, which is great news. But in his place, injured in that Stoke game, was Warren Feeney, who is now out for the season. So we're losing our top scorer immediately. It will be Morgan, Howard and Shawumi to choose from. And that just meant we needed someone on the left-hand side. Some good news on the contractual front after 2 or 3 episodes of bad news continuously. Marlon Beresford has signed reduced terms as just a goalkeeper for next season. So no coaching for him and he can be second or third choice. But £375 a week. We're not going to get backup keepers for much less than that. He's solid enough and he'll do a job when we need him. The other one who signed a new deal is Enoch Shawumi. He has signed a 3-year extension, just a handy player to have. He's now competent playing on the left-hand side. You can see it's added to his positions there. And up front, he's done pretty well in both roles. I know he only scored 1, but he got 2 assists against Stoke. He's been a real handful. If we can keep him fit and firing, I think, again, he's a useful backup player for £1 or so a week. So he stays at the club long term. But today we go into a Watford game in 10th place. But look at this championship table. Hull possibly running away with it, though Reading and Norwich have closed the gap. But look at from 4th down to 12th. 5 points separate Palace and Wolves. There are 9 teams in the mix, and any of us, quite frankly, could be in the playoffs. The benefit we've got is a better goal difference than most, and the fact that we play several of them during the run-in. We've got to play Southampton, we've got to play Preston, and we've got to play Wolves. The flip side of that argument, of course, is that our rivals could be picking up points against us and that could put us in trouble. And the only 2 games we've got against other sides in the league, one of them is our rivals Watford, which might take the form book out the window. You can see that they've conceded 87 goals, the most in the league this season. Hopefully their defence will be as welcoming for our attack again today. Steve Howard will be ready to pounce, I'm sure. They're 5 points from safety with this game in hand. If we win it, we go up level with the playoffs. If they win it, they go within 2 of safety, which of course would be a real body blow for the Luton fans. So let's go and see how we can get on in this one. I've gone back to what I think is as close to the tried and trusted as possible. We played well against Stoke, so my only gamble is to bring Howard back in for Shawunmi. I just need 2 goal threats up there rather than 1. We've got our first choice defence back, albeit Davis was poor last time. Lee Grant does return in goal. And then Chris Brunt will have to continue on the left. It's not the time to give Andy Welsh a debut from the start. He may come off the bench if Brunt struggles again. Let's get through to the match, the first of 2 today. While not as important from a table point of view in terms of being a playoff chasing 6-pointer, it's certainly as important to the Luton fans to get a win against the old rivals Watford. And as you can see, former and future Luton player Matty Spring is in centre midfield there for them. Marlon King amongst the stars up front. Jay Demerit in defence had a decent time last time out, but they did give us a couple of goals and I'll be hoping for the same again. Let's get into the first half as Steve Howard almost went on a charge from the kickoff there. Keith Keane finds Davis and now Chris Brunt, who again, little bit lazy on the first touch there. It's just got a little heavy. And they get the throw on the right-hand side. I think I saw Leandro Griffith in there. There he is. One of my favourite signings in the early FMs. Always used to be on the loan list. And he's in the Watford team today, so we've got to be careful. As Heikkinen gets the first header away, but did leave King unmarked while doing so. Thankfully, we get away with it though. Davis away to Brunt. He's up towards Kevin Nichols. Big ball over the top. And Watford are in. But surely, is that offside? There was no one there. There it is. Willie Kiley's offside. No defender in sight. I'm not sure why it took so long. But a minute gone. Not much so far. Just a half chance that ended up being offside. As we've got a throw on the left with Sol Davis to Chris Brunt. Again a heavy touch. Howard finds Nichols though as we keep the ball to Berkovic. Got to lay in Morgan. Tries to shoot himself. Wrong decision from the Croatian sensation. One of his last games for the club with him pre-agreed to leave in the summer. But hopefully he'll make the most of it. There's a big switch towards him again. Loses out this time. Marlon King away, but it's a poor ball back. Stewart will be poached here. Berkovic gets it. 2 in the middle. You've got to pass. Oh, what are you doing? He took an extra touch and then fired it at pace. If he just laid it along the ground to Morgan, he's got a tap in. Terrible decisions from Berkovic again. As Chris Brunt wins the ball back, we've definitely started well. Howard into Morgan. He's 1-on-1. D. Morgan. Good save at the near post. 25 on the clock. It has been all Luton. We've not made it count. No, Berkovic on the right again. Beats his man. Into Morgan. Great save. Keith Keane trying to follow up. But Jay Demerit is to it quicker. It feels like a matter of time, but this is where things get tricky, isn't it? Matthew Springs picked up a knock. One of his former teammates leaving a mark on him. As Davis gets the ball to Brunt and we come down the left again. Howard turns his man inside out. Can't get the shot away quickly enough. Spring did just enough. I'm really frustrated we're not ahead here because we played so well and we do deserve to have put them behind. A half-time notice 0-0. We're going to encourage the lads. They're playing well. We'll say they can win it. But it might be a matter of time before we see some new wingers and maybe we have to look after Howard's fitness as well. But not really the game I want to rest people. As it's a throw at left back for our host today. They pick the ball up and go long. Foley goes up and beats Marlon King and it's down for Keith Keane, his fellow Irishman. Here goes Heikkinen into the opposition half. Up to Kevin Nichols who loses it. Got to be offside for Kiley again. But it's through to Lee Grant anyway and he goes straight up to Howard. Beats Demerit in the air but Spring will get there for the second ball. It's away as far as McShane as Watford come forward. Would be gutting if we went behind early in this half after dominating the first. But thankfully that's over the bar. 5 gone in the second. Watford have the first chance. But where are our attacks gone? As Davis has a throw on the left to Coyne. We get back on form now. Good ball through to Morgan. He's beaten the defence with one simple run. Morgan forced wide. Wilson brings him down. And he's already on a yellow, referee. He is already on a yellow card. Do not bottle this. Do not bottle this decision. He was through on goal. He's got to be off. Kevin Nichols on the penalty. But we want to be playing 10 men here. Wilson waiting by the ref. There he goes. Not even a second yellow. It's a straight red. And one of the front two is off to be replaced by a more defensive option. We've got the chance to take the lead, but crucially, Watford have dropped to 1 up front. Now, Kevin Nichols, please, you've been reliable all season. 20 attribute for penalty taking. Don't fail me now. Nichols into the corner. Brilliant stuff from the skipper. What a key player he's been. And what a key moment this could be, both in our running and in Watford's. An hour on the clock, the perfect time to score and to end up playing against 10 men. Exactly what we wanted. And we're on the attack again with Kevin Nichols on the free kick into Howard, unmarked. Oh, great save. Brilliant goalkeeping, it must be said. We're starting to dominate now. I'd really like a second just to make it more comfortable. But Morgan's corner's cleared away. We'll think about changes soon, but for now, I'm happy with how we're doing and I don't want to change too much. As Keane finds Berkovic on the right-hand side. Nothing silly, please. We had the back pass saga in the last Watford game. Up towards Howard up front. With Demerit, gets it down to Nichols. Wide to Chris Brunt, not had the best game, but who can he find? Nichols is inside of him. Demerit goes in, Nichols all alone. Brilliant save again. Tell you what, the Watford keeper, strong contender for man of the match here, and they're 1-0 down as well. Magnificent performance from him, but it's a free kick at the other end, and no! Good save from Lee Grant. That's what we needed. Go long towards Howard now, we might have a chance, because there's a 2-on-2 back there. Howard is the target as usual, McNamee's with him. Coyne gets on the second ball. It's a big one downfield. And Chris Brunt will chase it. Watford not back in their shape yet. Back pass is good. And Demerit can come away with it. It's a long ball over the top, which Sol Davis deals with. And apparently volleys his man at the same time. Looks a harsh decision. We'll make some changes. We're not going to go mad, but Howard probably needs a break. So Enoch Shawunmi gives us more pace on the break. Hopefully that will help out late on if Watford come and chase it. I'm going to go for Edwards in place of Berkovic for now. And I'll save the last one 5 more. But I'll probably give a debut to Andy Welsh if I can. Just so we can get him up to speed. Well, just over 5 remaining. As it's in towards Shawunmi from Nichols. Down for Heikkinen. It's blocked on the rebound. We're going to make the final sub. And I think we're going to do that change as we'd planned on the left of midfield. First, we've got the corner though with Morgan. In towards the keeper. He's had a great game. It must be said. We don't want to praise the rivals too much. But he has kept it at 1. It could have been embarrassing without him. Brunt is going to be replaced by Andy Welsh, who will make his debut in the biggest of games. I thought about the experience of Robinson. I thought about giving Barnett a little run out. But let's keep it sensible here. Don't want to change the back line. Don't want to change what's working well. Let's just get a fresh winger on as Foley throws in to Carlos Edwards. Foley again over the top to Shawunmi. This is the pace we were talking about on the break. He's got support arriving. Shawunmi goes alone. It's just over here. Andy Welsh was arriving, but he's not going to make that. 1 minute plus stoppage time remaining. Watford have got to go for it. They've gone sort of 4-2-3, basically pushing their wingers up higher. And it does mean there's so much space on the break as Nichols finds Morgan. Up to Shawunmi. Must have a chance here. McNamee fouls him. Now he's the last man again here. Shawunmi's about to shoot. That's got to be a red. He's been given a yellow. I think that's fortunate. Kevin Nichols has now got a free kick. I won't mind if we score from this. And he has got history for it this season. Kevin Nichols! Oh, you beauty! A corner and a free kick again, just as he did last week against Stoke. But this time, it's not getting us 1 point. It's taking home all 3. And that is exactly what the Luton fans needed. 15 for the season, loads of penalties, a couple of free kicks. What a year for the skipper. Let's see if we can hold on through stoppage time. As Morgan nicks it from the kickoff. Matty Spring, the man who's poached. Alexander, another former Luton man on. He's not going to do anything about this. McNamee down the right-hand side. Let us keep the clean sheet. Let us have proper bragging rights here. Good block from Andy Welsh for a throw-in. And I think it should be near enough job done. I don't know how many minutes were added. I did miss it. But here they are with McShane to McNamee. Don't let them get the goal. Johnston up top. Coyne goes and chases him, but it's wide to McNamee again. Chance to get his cross in. Marlon King's in the middle. Coyne and Heikkinen do well. And it's away to Andy Welsh on the left-hand side. Volleys it up towards Shawunmi. Alexander's going to have to be careful, and is. Coyne goes up against King and wins it. It's away as far as Hammer Boatsa. Heikkinen's beaten to it by Marlon King, though, who's in 1-on-1. Good save from Lee Grant. The few times it has gone wrong today at the back, Grant has been there to make the save. Second good one from him as Boatsa finds King again. And that's wild. It's a slash at the ball. And it should be it. We're 2-0 up. It should be near enough game over. And you can't fault the display today. It's been really professional throughout. As Shawunmi goes up against Alexander, loses out. King will get there again. Heikkinen closes down. Forces him back to McShane and Seistes. The left back will carry forward. Matthew Spring in the middle. Edwards closing him down. Does well again. It falls for Alexander, but Edwards wins it a second time. Morgan in just to put the cherry on the cake. Beats his man for pace, but Demerit gets back. And it just evades Shawunmi from the tackle. Could have gone anywhere, really. Out to McNamee. Are we just watching the whole game now? Got to lead to something, hasn't it? Andy Welsh flies in, and it's out for the Watford throw. I'm waiting for the whistle because I don't know why we're seeing all of this. Long ball forward towards King. It's nicked by Welsh and now Heikkinen away. Keith Keane into Chris Coyne to Nichols. Professional performance this. Keeping the ball, spraying it wide. Foley then looks for the target man, Shawunmi. This away as far as Sol Davis, who's been back in form today. Long ball forward again is dealt with by Watford, but they're offering no threat whatsoever. It's been a fantastic away day. We've put Watford in massive relegation trouble, and we've put ourselves back in the playoff mix. A 2-0 win at Vicarage Road for Luton Town. A comfortable day, a good performance, and Kevin Nichols, the skipper, stands tall when it matters. Let's go and see where that leaves both of us in the table. We are back up to 7th, level on points with Sheffield United, just behind on goal difference. Watford 5 from safety with 4 games to go. Next week though, we play Southampton at 1 point and 2 places above us. Rowan Vine is starring for them at the minute, and he is the former man. Is he going to come back to haunt us, or will it prove to be the right decision? We'll find out when we return in a minute. Well, the Southampton game has come around and it's been a very mixed week. For us personally, it's been a brilliant one. If we have a look at ourselves, we've been offered a new deal that will extend our contract here till 2008. We've also been offered a wage rise to nearly £2,500 a week. Our ability to handle pressure has gone up pretty quickly as well. So really pleased with how that's come off for us. However, there is a little bit of bad news on the flip side. Look at the player who is unavailable today. No goalkeeper. Lee Grant has picked up an injury, will be out for the rest of the season. And I've got to choose between Marlon Beresford, who is solid, who is experienced, but has not done brilliantly, and between the new returning lone goalkeeper, Rob Beckwith, who has improved, but has not played at all at this level this season. I'm going to have to make a very careful decision here. We'll probably do so in a minute, but he does look a future start, but is it the time to gamble with inexperience? Probably not. We've also got one more loan signing in. We know that Warren Feeney and Paul Underwood are both out for the year. We know Chris Brunt's been struggling. So I've signed an extra striker just in case we need to move Shawunmi left. Peter Michelanda is on loan. Czech Republic Youth International from West Ham. Again, £1,000 a week on the wages. Just a 1-month deal. But he's that type of striker. He's 6'3". He's good in the air. If we are missing Steve Howard or needing to rest him, then Michelanda can give us that option. So hopefully won't be needed, but there's a chance. And I want to be careful as a result. I am going to go for Marlon Beresford today. I think we've got to go experience here. And the rest of the 11, to be honest with you, I'll probably keep the same because the squad did nothing wrong last week at Watford. Why should it be punished today? We're going to go into it in 7th place against Southampton in 5th, 1 point above us. Let's see if Rowan Vine comes back to haunt us or if we've got a hero to take us over the line. Well, Vine starts alongside Brett Ormerod today. Our FM09 hero from Hamilton save. Julian Gray is out on the left-hand side. There's some big old names in there, isn't there? Nigel Quasi, John Eustace, Danny Higginbottom, Anthony Amy in goal. He's not finished, he's only 28. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic day. Even EFL presenter David Prutton is out on the right wing. Let's see how we get on in the first half of this one. We're going straight from it. There's a lot of quality up front there for Southampton. Ormerod and Vine, maybe not the quickest players in the world, but certainly got legs and certainly got quality as Vine has the first chance of the game. But thankfully, it's wide and ugly. We're just over 5 minutes in, and again, it's the Saints on the attack. Now, they should be the dominant force here. They've got the big budget. They spent £1 million on Vine in January. They've got this quality of the squad. They came down on the final day of the season before. They should be up there. They should be higher than they are, as Beresford does really well. But the truth is, they've had a pretty tough season, and we'd really like to push them back out of the playoffs here, as it's long towards Steve Howard, who does really well to bring it down. Can't find his man quick enough. Corrigan's able to bring it out from the back. Down the line, Sol Davis is beaten for pace. Prutton's in. We've got Coyne trying to get back in the middle. Davis goes all the way with him, but it's in towards Gray. Berkovic back and behind for a corner. Brilliant defending from the Croat. But it's still not danger over, is it? Prutton will take it. You can see Vine lurking there at the front post. There's 2 or 3 others in the box as well. Who's it going to be aimed towards? John Eustace is up. Steve Howard wins it. Is away for a throw. We've survived the first 10 minutes. It's not been a good display so far, though. And we're defending again straight away with Corrigan. Big ball in which Beresford deals with. I'm hoping that'll be the start of an attacking highlight for us, but it's not the best ball out. Howard does get a flick on it, but it goes backwards. Ormerod on towards Gray, and it's Foley who's there to clear. but we can't really get out of our own half, if I'm being honest. Nigel Quasi goes wide to McMillan, player we tried to sign in the summer from Wigan, as Gray gets into the box to Ormerod and is fired over the bar. All Southampton at the moment. We could really do with a break in the dominance, but here come them again. On the break, they look fantastic. Anthony Amy. Oh, what's he doing? Morgan's nicked it. What a break that is. Oh, my words. Anthony Amy, maybe he is finished after all. That is atrocious goalkeeping. Probably the best on paper in the Championship, maybe with Rob Green. And he's made an awful howler. I almost feel sorry for him, but Morgan poaches and he's in again. Goes for the lob. He's full of confidence now. Berkovic did well to win it back. And against the run of play, it's giving me vibes of the Leicester match in the last episode. We got battered in the first half of that, nicked a goal, and then went on and run it. Are we going to do the same here? I'm not expecting 4 by any means. I'd be delighted if we could keep a clean sheet, as Quasi again goes wide to McMillan. Seems to be the out ball every time for them. He's got options down the line, but he's going alone for now. Good ball in towards Quasi, well headed away by Heikkinen. McMillan again, though, has a chance to deliver. Forced inside, Berkovic hounding him, but he finds Eustace. And that's wide. We've survived the first quarter. And thanks to an absolute howler from Niami, we are 1-0 up in a crucial game. But we're getting battered, there's no doubt about it. Oh, Beresford, what a day to turn up. Rowan Vine with a brilliant header right in towards the top corner. But he's not haunting us yet because Beresford is at his best. Into the front post, Sol Davis away. There is no doubt we are clinging on here. And I mean clinging by the skin of our teeth. Though Keane's nicked it again. It's another mistake at the back. And we almost poach it. Just noticed that Theo Walcott's on the bench as well. The 17-year-old has got a chance to star if need be. That pace is frightening. The first corner's headed away again. Keane's pressing well, but it finds Danny Higginbottom. Shot from Eustace, deflects off Vine. There it is. Rowan Vine scores. The £1 million is not worth it now, because it might have just cost us a chance at the playoffs. Vine comes back to haunt us. It was predictable, wasn't it? As Kevin Nichols picks it up. Keith Keane comes off it. Goes for the shot wide. Are Southampton going to make it count now? They've deserved more than this, but they've finally got back on terms and they're dominating. But we've got down the right with Berkovic. Into Nichols. Deflects off Brunt and nearly in. We're seeing an awful lot of this game, and it is the visitors showing how good they are. Prutton towards Ormerod. Now Rowan Vine. Not again. Not again. It's a good save, Beresford. He is dominating this. He's up for this game, isn't he? Higginbottom finds McMillan, and now Julian Gray. Cross in is towards Ormerod, but Brunt clears it. And again, it's just a hoof forward. We're giving them that possession. We do not look comfortable at all, but we're just waiting for mistakes. Higginbottom with a switch to Prutton is brilliant. Chance to get into the opposition half. Brunt working back. Coin up against Ormerod does well. Corrigan into Prutton, and now Quasi. Has support from Vine, up against Heikkinen. Good block, but it falls for Ormerod. Brilliant save again. I mean, I made the right decision in goal for sure. Beresford has been sensational. And at half-time, it's 1-1. We're going to have to make changes. Brunt is really struggling on the left of midfield. Andy Welsh is going to get a proper go here. Let's tell the boys they can win it, as much as I don't believe that. And we'll bring on Andy Welsh, see what he can deliver. 45 minutes, and we're under the cosh here. Well, aside from possibly Steve Howard, and maybe not even including him, this is about the most unwelcome news we could have got. 5 minutes later, Kevin Nichols off injured. Steve Robinson will come on. Keane will switch sides. But that's a disaster. It's the set-piece delivery. It's the captaincy, the leadership. And it's the quality in the middle of the park. That is a big, big blow. And 2.5 minutes in, not what we wanted to see. It's our first bit of action after the break. Also leaves us with just one sub. As Morgan goes for the shot. Not quite the same quality as the Nichols free kick, is it? And look at the men they've put forward. They've got an extra one out wide. We're not getting back quick enough. Niami, though, thankfully, dallying in possession again. McMillan and Gray combining down the left. Southampton, again, starting to charge forward. Robinson getting in, but he's not quick enough to it. And Quasi's been released down the left to Rowan Vine. Skins Heikkinen, puts it wide. He is out to haunt us today. He's desperate, isn't he? You can see the quality he's playing with. We've got a final sub to consider soon, but first it's a Steve Robinson free kick into Andy Welsh. He hasn't, has he? It's Steve Robinson awarded the goal. Welsh was poaching at the back post, doesn't get anything on it. And Steve Robinson has turned into the super sub. I mean, fair play to him. He's got the delivery, hasn't he? Corner kicks are brilliant. Not sure why he's on free kicks. And while he's not at his best, he's delivered a moment there. And with 25 to go, we're back in front. And we've got to think about what we do with our final sub. I'm not going to make it for now. I don't want to risk playing with 10 as Coins lost out to Eustace there. That's really poor. Davis commits. Walcott's past him and he's got the chance to cross. 2 in the middle. Ormerod's 1. Kasowski back in. Ricardo Fuller. Oh, why did they take Vine off? Because he would have scored that. Fuller puts it miles over the bar. Absolutely thrilled to see that one. As Corrigan goes long towards Ormerod. Heikkinen's missed out. They've got a 2-on-1. Fuller's in. Doesn't miss this time. It's like he can hear me, isn't it? 2-2, Southampton level. Again, thoroughly deserved. But frustrating because we had the opportunity. And defensively, we're all at sea at the minute. We're going to look at changes in a second, but it might be too late because Nigel Quasi has put one into the side netting. Foley's struggling, but I can't really take him off because we can't put Keane to right back today without Nichols on the pitch. I think I'm going to take one of the strikers off because they're both struggling physically. We're going to go Morgan off, Shawunmi on. Fresh legs, pace up front, double height as well from set pieces, which we're facing a lot of defensively. And hopefully, despite the lessening quality in that front line, there is going to be an awful lot of physicality. Let's see if Enoch Shawunmi can do the job. There are 10 minutes remaining. The match stats, I'd imagine, yeah, they're pretty ugly. 8 shots to 18, absolute dominance from Southampton. We've got through those 10 minutes pretty quietly. And maybe it's not the worst result in the world. It's certainly not what we wanted at the start, but I'd have taken 4 points in this episode. And to be honest, to cling on and get a point there is, I think, pretty important. The question now is going to be what happens on the other side of this, because Kevin Nichols, we know, has got the injury. How bad is it going to be? Let's go and find out. This is the huge moment in our season. We stay in 8th place. There's still only 1 point to the playoffs. We're 3 off 4th. And we're also 3 off, 12th place as well. What's the injury? Kevin Nichols, 4 days and a week. We can live with that. I'm a bit surprised he went off with a stub toe, to be honest. But I think we've got a week off before the next game. No, it's in 2 days. So he's going to miss one match. Then he'll be back. We'll leave that to the physio. We definitely were lucky to draw, as Brighton and Millwall have come down. Forest are back up to the Championship next year. Lots of promotions and relegations about. But are Watford going down? Starting to look like it, isn't it? We've put them a bit closer and we're still in the playoff mix. And we will return next time out for 2 huge matches. We'll get through the Wolves one on Monday. We will be back to face Preston and Cardiff in our final 2 games of the Championship season. Do you think we make it? Or is that Kevin Nichols injury going to cost us the final chance? Let me know down in the comments what you think. Join me tomorrow to find out. If you like this one, please do chuck a thumbs up on it. Really hearty display against Watford, but we're just finding against those top sides in the division, we've not quite got the same quality now. If you want to stay up to date and find out how we do though, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Episodes every weekday at 4:30. But will it be an extended season with the playoffs? We'll find out in tomorrow's video. I hope you'll come and join me for it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the season finale.